In this episode, we're talking about what if the real battle isn't between left and right, but it's actually between light and dark, between consciousness and manipulation. What if we've all been so busy defending sides that we've forgotten what the game is actually about? If you've ever felt exhausted by the endless arguments left versus right, us versus them, this episode is for you. So let's get to it. Welcome to Rooted and Rising. I'm your host, Tara Mychelle, intuitive guide, storyteller, and fellow traveler on this wild path of becoming. This is a space for the soul led, for the ones unraveling old stories, tending to their healing, and rising, not perfectly, but powerfully, into who they are here to be. Here we explore what it means to live with intention, to love with depth, and to trust that even the hard things are shaping us. I'll share pieces of my own journey, the cracks, the beauty, the breakthroughs, and invite voices who are walking this path too. Because I believe life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. So come as you are, root in and rise up. And thank you, truly thank you for being here. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Rooted and Rising. So excited to be with you today. I wanted to talk about this topic. It might be triggering for some, but I think it's important. And I really, really wanted to bring it forward today. I want to explore something that's been stirring in me for a really long time. And it's the realization that this world we live in isn't just political, it's energetic, it's emotional, it's spiritual. This episode was actually inspired by a comment thread of a friend of mine on Facebook who had mentioned that she's walking away from the Democratic Party. And as you can imagine, there was somebody else on there that posted and had some comments that were negative towards the right. And so I'm not one to jump into these types of conversations. I typically like to stay away from them because of this very thing that I'm going to talk about today. But when I saw it, I just felt compelled to respond. And my response wasn't political at all. It was actually more a point of view that I was hoping would, shift the perspective, shift a narrative, maybe awaken some of those who are still really caught in what I'm about to talk about. So I used to proudly call myself fiscally conservative, socially liberal. I think I can still say that I am. I believed in balance, responsibility, compassion. I believed in both those things. But somewhere along the way, labels have stopped fitting. Like, if one talked to me in this day and age, you could probably say I'm conservative, but even that doesn't fit because liberal today doesn't mean what it used to mean, and conservative doesn't mean what it used to mean either. And what used to be dialogue has turned into absolute division. And what used to be perspective has turned into absolute polarity. And as I watch people tear each other apart online, and I've watched this for many, many years, this isn't about sides anymore. It's about something deeper. And I began to see the patterns, how media would feed outrage and how algorithms are designed to keep us angry, to keep us divided, to keep us distracted. And as I began to see that, I started asking myself, like, really, who's benefiting here? We're all at war with each other. And who actually benefits from that when we are all at war with each other? We certainly don't. And that's when I began to take a step back from the noise and I began to reconnect to something higher, my higher power, God, however you want to call it, my moral compass. And I started having this inner whisper of what would love do? How would love respond? What would love do right now? That's what I began hearing in my mind. And I started using this as my internal GPS, like my internal compass. And when a post triggered me, God knows I'd want to respond, but I'd pause. And when someone said something I disagreed with, again, I'd want to get in there and jump in and make a comment. I'd pause and I'd breathe. And I'd ask, what would love say here? Because love doesn't always agree. Love doesn't actually roll over, but love sees the human behind the headline. And when we operate from love, we no longer need to be right. We just need to be true. And truth doesn't scream, it vibrates through integrity. And so many of us say we want peace, yet we post things that divide. We share memes that mock, and we defend our rightness instead of expanding our hearts. Love is radical neutrality. It is not apathy, but it's clarity. And it says, you do you, and I'll do me. And it says that from the space that I can see you clearly without judgment. So let's be honest. This whole system we live in my opinion, is a massive psyop. It is designed to keep us looping in fear, outrage, and the left is told to fear the right is told to fear the left. And the truth is, fear feeds that machine. And when we unplug from that, when we stop reacting to every emotional trigger the media throws at us, that's when we take our power back. That's the awakening. Seeing beyond the script, recognizing the manipulation, and choosing peace over panic. We start to discern, not from ego, but from energy, from love. We can feel what's true and what's distortion. And that's when we begin to see that this is no longer a war between parties. It's literally a war between light and dark. So when I say light and dark, light doesn't mean perfection, okay? It means awareness. Darkness isn't a political side, it's unconsciousness. Discernment is knowing the difference between those two. It's the quiet confidence that says, this resonates with love and this doesn't. And when we live from discernment, we stop needing to attack, argue, or convince. We simply live from truth, and truth speaks for itself. That's how we become light in a dark world, by embodying it, by choosing love when it's inconvenient, by seeing through manipulation without becoming cynical. And it's not easy, but it's how we heal, one conscious moment at a time. Our world is built from language. Every word we speak holds frequency. And when we keep rehashing the past, when we constantly relive trauma, division, old narratives, all we are doing is recreating the same old world over and over again. And that's why conversations about love, hope, and creation matter. Because we are quantum creators. Our thoughts literally shape who and what we experience. So if you keep speaking division, you'll keep living in division. If you keep speaking fear, you'll keep living in fear. But if you start speaking peace, gratitude, and compassion, you'll begin to experience more of that. It's simple. Now, I didn't say it's easy. It is simple, not easy, because it takes awareness and it takes ownership and it takes accountability. The future is being written right now through what we say, what we believe, and how we love. We can't control the world, but we can absolutely control our vibration within it. And from that place, we influence everything. This is where the new earth begins, not through governments or parties, but through consciousness, through self-love that radiates outward into the world. So ask yourself, where am I still fighting instead of loving? And what would a world built on love actually look like? And what small choice could I make today to create that world? Because that's how awakening spreads. One heart, one moment, one act of grace at a time. Now, as I close out this episode today, I want everybody to take a breath. Just take a breath and feel your heartbeat. Feel your heartbeat. Remember that you are the creator of your reality. When you root into truth and rise into love, you become unshakable. You become free. And that freedom, that light, ripples out further than you could ever imagine. So let's unplug from the noise and tune back in to love. If this message speaks to your heart, I'm here to help you take that next step. Reach out to me directly. I do offer one-on-one guidance where I can support you into higher frequencies of love, clarity, and unity. And the link is actually in the description below. So reach out, schedule your session today because I'd love to connect with you and walk this path with you. Until next time, keep rooting into who you are and rising into all that you're here to be. And I challenge each one of you today. What would love say? Look at any conflict in your life or anything that's been triggering you. And what would love say? What would love do? Who would love be being in that moment? Take it on. Share with me below in the comments. I would love to hear from all of you. And I wish you all a blessed next couple of weeks and look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you for rooting in and rising with me today. If something in this episode stirred something in you, take a breath, take what you need, and let the rest soften. Be sure to follow the show so you don't miss what's next. And if you feel called, share this episode or leave a review. It helps the space grow and reach others on the path. Until next time, may you walk with trust, speak with love, and rise in your own time. I'm so grateful you were here with us, and thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next episode.